Installing a processor. If there is any old thermal grease on the processor or cold plate, gently clean the top of the processor and the cold plate using an alcohol cleaning pad. Remove the processor identification label from the water loop and replace it with the new label that came with the replacement processor. If you are unable to put the new label on the water loop, or if the label is damaged during the transfer, use a permanent marker to write the new processor serial number on the water loop in the same location as the label would have been placed. Use a syringe to apply 4 uniformly spaced dots of thermal grease to the top of the processor. Each dot should consist of about 0.1 milliliters of thermal grease. Align the triangular mark on the processor retainer with the triangular mark on the corner of the processor. Gently place the processor retainer on the processor and then carefully press the 4 sides of the processor retainer down to secure the processor. Align the triangular marks on the processor retainer with the triangular slots on the underside of the water loop cold plate, and then attach the processor to the underside of the water loop cold plate by inserting the processor retainer posts and clips into the openings at the 4 corners of the cold plate. Push all the anti-tilt wire bales outward to the unlocked position. Check the gap pads on the water loop and replace any that are damaged or missing. Carefully turn over the water loop, position it over the 2 guide pins near the rear of the node, and then lower it down and ensure it is firmly seated on the system board. Push all the anti-tilt wire bales outwards to the locked position. Use a Torx T30 Torx screwdriver to fully fasten the 8 captive screws on the cold plates in the installation sequence shown on the cold plate label. Unfasten the 12 Phillips No. 2 water loop carrier screws. Carefully lift the water loop carrier up and away from the water loop. Fasten the 9 Torx T10 water loop screws. Fasten the following screws to secure the quick connect. 5 Torx T10 screws on the rear of the node. Two Torx T10 screws on the quick connect. Install the voltage regulator clamp plate in the node, and then install the 2 Torx T10 screws. Install the DIMM combs and DIMMs. Install the PCIe riser assemblies or drive cage assemblies. Install the M.2 backplane assembly. Install the cross braces. Install the tray cover. Install the tray into the enclosure.